Hello there, fellow clickies. Some of you may have be aware of or actually using an extension called the Quick Table Viewer. It was developed by Christoph Schwartz, I think about 6, maybe even 7 years ago now, and has become pretty much an invaluable tool for Qlik developers. If you haven't used the Quick Table Viewer before, then please continue watching, because once you use it, you will never ever go back. It's just such a time saver. And like all things I love about Qlik, it is ridiculously simple. So without Quick Table Viewer, what's actually the problem? Now, we've all seen this data model. We've got some transactions, we've got some products, and we've got some customers. And many projects that you work on, you might not be particularly familiar with the data structure, what's in these tables. And yeah, if you're using Qlik Cloud or Qlik Sense, you could probably take a look at one of these tables and you can have a quick preview of the table and see what sort of data is going on inside there, and a few, metrics about density, subset ratios, distinct values, etc. All very useful, right? But the quick preview table that you get in Qlik, it isn't great for when you actually want to explore this data and actually drill down into the individual values. So typically what you would do without the Quick Table Viewer is, let's just say I want to explore the customer table. Typically what I would do is I would grab a chart, I would grab a table, and then start adding these dimensions. So I might be adding customer address, I might be adding customer age and customer ID, and so on and so forth. Now, if that table's got 50 columns, possibly even more, how painful is that going to be? It's going to take absolutely ages to get the table that you want. Plus, you might accidentally add a field from another table that you weren't aware of, and then you create, a ridiculous join, and all of a sudden your table just explodes to 2 million rows of data, right? Very, very painful. So I'm just going to show you a quick way of doing that using the Quick Table Viewer. It's actually bundled up with Ancorescript, which I will come to very, very shortly. But essentially, the Quick Table Viewer used to be a custom extension where you would have to import it into Qlik Sense, and then when there was a new version released, you'd have to re-import, etc., etc. But now we've bundled it with Ancorescript, specifically with Ancorescript. You don't need to worry about that so much anymore. So let me just very, very quickly show you how it works, because it really is a time saver. We can set up and explore a single table in your data model, well, quicker than it takes to say Quick Table Viewer, Quick Table Viewer. Okay, so we have this button called Ancorescript here, so you can install the Ancorescript toolbox for free. I'll provide that at the end of the video. And all we need to do to get started is just simply drag an Ancorescript button across here. I might give it a little label. I'll just call it Table Viewer, just to be clear. And then, like I would before, I would just drag a blank table onto the canvas here. And typically I would want to start exploring those different fields. Now, instead of adding every column individually, like I say, very, very painful. If you've got 50 plus columns, you might even have hundreds of columns in some SAP systems. We can just very quickly go to Ancorescript. And then over here, we go into the script editor. Now, in the script editor, basically, it's very, very, very open. You can add many, many different things. You can get it to basically do what you want. But we've got boxed in with Ancorescript is a bunch of template scripts. And the one we're just going to look at today is in the applications submenu. And you can see here we've got the Quick Table Viewer, which basically just creates a bunch of code that you can run. So we simply select that. Everything's already pre-written for you. And then you apply the template code, close the window, and we're essentially good to go. So how does it actually work? So in just a couple of clicks now, I can simply click the button that I've created there using Ancorescript. I can select one table from my data model. From the beginning, we had customers, we had products, and we had transactions, and I can do it all in a single click. I just click Insert Table here, and then that is it. I've just added my entire table in a single click rather than adding every column exhaustively. That's not all. There are a few ways you can actually configure the table viewer as well. So in the menu options here, you'll notice we have that customer table just there. And there are some extra options. We can have restricted to a maximum number of columns if we want. We can include columns in a wildcard pattern, or we can ignore columns that perhaps would have a certain pattern that we just don't want to work with right now. So we can exclude as many as we want. or we can perhaps remove the prefixes from the labels that are coming through in the data model. So a lot of source data have things like customer underscore sale type, customer underscore address, etc., etc. We can easily just remove that. So I could just put cust in there, and then we could save it, and then it would remove anything with a prefix of customer. Or we could actually hide any columns if the field's data is actually missing. What I really like is adding a row counter. When I'm discovering data, I usually add a row counter into the table just so we can see how many rows we've actually got. So we do that, and just save, insert the table, and you can see the counter just drops in there automatically. So it really is that simple. I can add as many or as few tables as I want. So we can just add the prod one as well. We can just select. What I would need to do there is just create another blank table, and we can add the product table. So we can just insert the table there, and we've now got the product table. So straight away, I've just saved myself probably a number of minutes, even though there's only a restricted number of columns in this data, and we can see that it works, and we can discover our data. So a real time saver, okay? So how do you get it? Well, it's not an extension anymore. Like I say, it's coming boxed up with Ancoreshare reporting, which is a whole new way of doing Qlik reporting, whether you want to replace end printing, or you want to produce, glossy pixel perfect reports, or just data from Qlik Sense, whether that be on premise or in the cloud. Really is a whole package, but that's for another video. You can access the Qlik table viewer very, very easily. You can get started for free. You can email info@Differentia Consulting, and we can help you out and get you started with the install, and also show you a lot more about what Ancoreshare's capabilities really are. But for the Qlik table viewer, if you don't use it now, you will find it a godsend when you're developing. So, by all means, get the free version, get started. We can help you with the setup. Just drop something in the comments if you need any help. Or like I say, you can email us at info@Differentia.consulting. So that is it. Enjoy. Hope I've saved you some time today, and thank you very much.